Thanks, everybody, for being here. Great team win. We found a way to get it done. Obviously, we put ourselves, I think, in a hole to start it. We put ourselves in a hole in the fourth quarter, and then to have the guys be resilient and find a way to make some just huge plays down the stretch in all three phases. Obviously, Clayton's performance, Flynn's receptions. That's just absolutely spectacular. 99.5-yard drive with no timeouts to get us into overtime. I think that was a huge confidence builder for our offense. And, then defensively to go out there in overtime and get the big turnover. And, Drew Luckenbaugh to step up and nail that field goal. The next man up mentality. It was his turn. It was his opportunity. And he stepped up and I think really responded incredibly from that first kick. So, incredibly proud of our guys. I've got a ton of respect for Frosty. I think he's going to do just an absolutely terrific job there. Those guys are playing much better I would say that since the Michigan game. You popped on the Michigan game and you saw we played Michigan obviously the week after they played. And he said it. He said that he thought they hit rock bottom and they were coming out of it. And then you listen to the comments he made this week about the way that they're preparing and they're getting better. And it showed. It really showed, I think, a little bit against Purdue, and it really showed up a lot last week and this week. They have a very talented group that's still there. And with that being said, we got to tackle better. I thought we missed more tackles today than we have in a while, and so I'll tip my hat and give, obviously, Nebraska a lot of credit. But, Scott and I are hopefully going to be in this league for a long time, competing against each other, and I think that will always be done with a just tremendous amount of respect. Two guys that I think played the game I think the way we both wanted to play with everything we had, and now I think we're coaching the same way. So, ton of respect for Scott and his staff and their guys, but a great team win for us. So, with that, how about some questions, please, that I can answer?
Career day from Clayton. What'd you see from him?
Well, I think there were some plays that he'd like to have back. But I loved his response when he came over. I don't know how much you guys pay attention, but I usually talk to him. Even if it's just for a little, flyby. There were a couple plays that obviously didn't go our way, and he knew exactly why and what he thought about the play. That usually shows a lot of confidence. When you got a younger quarterback, usually that finger starts getting pointed. To quote Coach Walk, he is the ultimate thumb pointer. He takes responsibility for everything that he does. And he does it with just class and humility, and just so thankful for his performance and who he is as a person.
What was the message to the offense when they were sent out there with 2 minutes left for that final drive, and how well do you think they executed on that?
That was pretty cool. 9.5 yards, that's about as good as you can get. We had penalty. That was, I think, our only penalty of the game. Jumping off sides, which obviously we can't have happen in the 2-minute drill, but I don't think I've ever put them 99.5 with no timeouts and 2 minutes to go in practice. So the credit goes to our guys. Mick, I thought, called a great 2-minute drive. I probably should have clocked. It's my call to clock the ball, and there was the one first down that we maybe should have clocked the ball, but that's on me. But I thought Clayton just managed it like a senior quarterback. Like an NFL player, like a pro. And obviously some guys went out and made some huge plays for him. Hi, Herb. How you doing, bud?
2 weeks in a row you've been able to get it done without a whole lot from your running game. Just talk about what that says and how you go about doing that.
Yeah, well, it hasn't really been our recipe around here. This kid named Justin's playing out in California. So I think I came up with a saying, Justin Jackson, the ball carrier around here. Right now, it's Clayton Thorson, the thrower, right? That's you got to adapt, and that's where we're at. And we are not going to stop working our tails off to run the football. Listen, I'm a neck roll 90s guy. We have to win the line of scrimmage. We have to run the football. We have to stop the run to win. That's Big Ten football, and we're deficient there right now. Part of it, and a lot of it starts and ends with me. We got to look at what we can do, how we can do it better, and who are we doing it with from a schematic standpoint. And that starts and ends with me, and we've got to find a way to get it done. That's the bottom line. So it looked like we were, again, this is like a broken record. It looks like we're a bunch of 1 blocks away. And then we got to make some guys miss. Free safety's making a play at a 2-yard gain. we got to make that guy miss too. So it's 12 people. It's the coaching staff and the 11 guys on the field. We got to be better there, and we're going to work our tails off to get there.
Well, that's everything we should know about Drew Luckenbaugh, including how did you have faith to go back to him after that first field goal try?
Well, I don't know if you saw. Did they replay the kick? I don't know if you saw it upstairs. So, I mean, Collins barely had the ball down, and Drew's foot was hitting the ball. So Drew I asked him, I said, how you doing? He goes, great. And you'll see when he comes in, he's got a big smile on him. I'm like, you need to settle down. He's like, I was a little bit too fast. I was like, a little bit? No, a lot of it. So just slow down. You'll be fine. And he's just a great kid. I mean, he'll tell a story when he comes in here. I mean, he's in the garage over on campus. The students know what I'm talking about. As much as he's in the football building. I mean, his future in life is spectacular. And I joke with him. I'm like, what are you going to invent, cold fusion or something like that? Like, he's in the garage with all those entrepreneurs. I'm just glad to be honored to be his coach because he's a lot smarter than I am. I'll just put it to you that way. But I've got a degree already, so it says Northwestern.
And just to follow up, I mean, do we know if Charlie's out for a while? Is Drew going to be your guy?
Yeah, he's out for today. I would list probably Charlie's day-to-day based on what I got from an injury report on Friday. Yeah. So he's day-to-day. But, also I would say this, quite frankly, this is for everybody. Competition makes everybody better, makes good players great and great players special. And, I think Drew just made a big statement that he was ready mentally. He was able to overcome some adversity off that kick. And, he stepped up when his teammates needed him. And that's to me, that's pretty special. So we'll see how it plays out.
2015, you had that game against Penn State. Jack Mitchell had missed a bunch of things. You had it in field goal range, trusted him, ran the ball, and he made the kick. Did that cross your mind in overtime to decide to go conservative and trust Drew to make the field goal?
Did I think about Jack Mitchell?
Yeah.
No. I'm sorry. No, I mean, we had thought we had some wrinkles in the run game, and I would like to think that if we executed, it's what it looked like to me, if we executed the scheme, I think we would have popped those. It looked like we got tackled by one guy and there was nobody else there. Listen, you got the ball, you just got a big turnover. We don't need to do anything obscene throwing a football, put ourselves out of field goal range. I thought we had two pretty darn good run plays on first and second down that we just didn't hit it and didn't get it where we wanted it to go. And I told Mick on third down, the play that we ran, I said, let's go there. And he didn't get a vote. So, I got great confidence that Drew, the way he responded. So,
You've talked about Flynn's consistency the past couple of weeks. What's clicking for him this season?
I just think he's just been relentless in his work ethic his entire career. It's an honor and a privilege for me. I've had now 3 Nagels. I mean, this is Brett and the crew. I mean, it's an Aaron. It's pretty neat for me. I'm just honored to coach the third, and he works so hard in practice. He's had a great off season, and he just had one of those days that I don't think he'll soon forget.
Do you see any similarities between him in his senior year and what Austin Carr did in his senior year, the way they're kind of working?
Yeah, Austin was here today. Did you see him? That was pretty cool. Yeah. Really proud of him. That was pretty cool for him to be out there on Monday Night Football with Drew Brees, huh? Yeah. Got a little TV time, too, which isn't surprising, knowing Austin. But, I think, again, we're only 6 chapters into Flynn's senior year, that book, and we've got the full data set on Austin. But I would say that I think there's great levels of trust right now between Clayton and our entire receiving corps. I mean, I think we're throwing it right now as well as we have in a long time, and we're throwing it to as many guys as we have. And we got to help them too. We had a handful of drops too that set you in second and long, third and long situations that we got to clean up.
You had to kick there that field about 3 minutes left in regulation. Were you concerned at all that you might not get the ball back? Demoralized at all that maybe that was kind of the last shot?
Yeah, those are a lot. End of the half, end of the game, 4 minute, 2 minute. Those are a lot of scenarios that we work and talk through before today, right? So you make game plan decisions on those types of things. So that's one of those interesting things down 2 scores where no matter what, you're going to have to get a touchdown. At what point is it too close not to go for the touchdown? And at what point do you feel like it's definitely field goal? And when we kind of got pushed back a little bit there was no doubt the field goal was the right call. And then, we go onside kick and don't get it. You got 3 timeouts. That's why you save those timeouts, or they're golden. And that's one thing I think we're really good at. I mean, our discipline right now from a penalty standpoint has got to be some of the best in the country. And same thing with the way that we go about our business. We don't have substitution issues. All the things that, quite frankly, to me are coaching. Things that we can control. Substitution issues, pre-snap penalties, not lining up right, calling plays wrong, signaling them wrong, receiving them wrong, communicating wrong. When those happen, that's when you got to take a timeout that's really unnecessary. And I learned so much watching a lot. Like I watch games tonight, and that's where teams lose. We don't have those 3 timeouts, we probably don't win the game. So the credit goes to our guys and our staff from understanding the discipline that it takes to win a Big Ten football game. So, yeah, it's big.
Pat, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Andy. Pat, what did the team show you those last 5 minutes or so, just being able to pull it out?
Yeah, great character. Absolutely terrific character. That's who they are. That's who we recruit. I thought the talk on the boundary, the whole game was excellent. But after we got the field goal to cut it to a 1-score game, the guys, we're winning this football game. We're winning the game. We're winning the game. And I don't know if you saw our defense come together and talk about getting a stop, and it wasn't necessarily roses for them today. And they've been so good. I mean, our 5 of our first 6 games now, our defense has been lights out. And we just didn't have our tackling pads on today, I guess. So again, credit Nebraska. But we needed a big play, and our defense went out and did it. And then to get it done in overtime, I just think shows character. We're pretty salty in overtime. We have great confidence and belief in that time. There's a lot of seniors that have been through a lot of games, and when we went on that run last year, I would prefer not to go to overtime. Let me be very clear. But we have great confidence in that situation, and I thought our guys handled it really well.
Flynn Nagel and the Nagels and his work ethic and everything. Being a Lamont guy and, you being from that region, did you feel some kind of connection to them when you went through the recruiting process? Like you could identify with their values and everything?
Yeah, we thought, we recruited Aaron. He went to another institution then transferred back. And, he's killing it right now at Deloitte and just crushing it. And Brett, unfortunately battled through some injuries, and that was tough. I mean, it's because, we thought he was potentially going to be a spectacular player, but injuries kind of shortened his career. And then, Flynn was a guy that we had a scholarship come available late. And, when I called we called him and offered him late. I said, first of all, you got to understand that, just because it's this timing doesn't mean that we haven't wanted you. We just haven't had the opportunity. And I hope you trust me. I hope your parents trust me. And we'll do everything we can to develop you and showcase your skills. And the credit goes to him. I mean, he has really worked incredibly hard. I've been to Nick's. I've gotten a burger at Nick's down in Lamont. If you're a South Sider, you know what I'm talking about. So I don't know if we've had that ridiculous of a special connection besides the fact that I understand where he comes from. I understand his background. We got a lot of similarities, and just honored and privileged to be his coach.
Well, today Berkeley Holman had his first reception.
Yeah.
So what have you been seeing out of him in practice during this significant
Yeah. St. John Bosco. Yeah, I think he's going to be a great player. I think he was open a bunch last week, and he's Cali. He's Orange County all the way. So he comes over and he's like, "Brah, I'm open." I'm like, "I know. We'll get you the ball. Don't worry, brah." And so he's got a bright future ahead of him. He's a lot of fun. He's a lot of fun. So he's from powerhouse football program, and hopefully he'll be one of many that we're able to get out of the OC.
Chad Hanaoka got in the game in crunch time today. What went into that decision? Did he say anything to you afterward?
I said something to him walking out. His locker's right next to where I had to do the longest WGN interview in the history of my life, which was fun. But I was just so happy and proud of him. Number one, it doesn't go to somebody. It goes to the Wildcat, and he's the Wildcat. And he works – first of all, he's an unbelievable teammate. He's with Isaiah. He's with Drake. Getting in those guys' ear every day about what it takes, how you need to do things to be not only proficient, but also a guy that could be special. He's a pre-med guy. He's the Wildcat. And we've got great confidence in him, especially when it came to when we knew we had to throw the ball. And from a protection standpoint, he knows that thing inside and out, and he's a technician. And, we lost Johnny in game, John Moten. And we're trying to play that redshirt rule a little bit with the two young guys. And we'll see how it goes moving forward. We were able to get through another game without having to play those two guys. I want to try to take advantage of that if I can. My patience is running a little thin without being able to run the ball, but those two guys are preparing every day to get prepared. But I think Solo is just going to get stronger as we continue to go along. Hopefully get Jesse Brown back here pretty soon, which would help add some depth there. So really proud of Chad. Not surprised at all.
Will you talk a little bit about containing Adrian Martinez and excuse me, if you changed your game plan on defense at halftime?
Not really. He's a really talented guy. I said that on Monday, I think, when we got together. When you pop on the tape, I called him a magician for a reason. I think he's obviously a freshman and he's learning Frosty's offense and all that. That will improve and get better. And they know it better than I know that side. But when you watch and all of a sudden now the play breaks down, that he's a freak show. I mean, he's scary from a defensive perspective because he's so darn athletic. He's got all the arm strength, and he just makes plays. So I'm not excited that we got to deal with him for 3 more years, but I'm absolutely ecstatic that he's in the rearview mirror for this year because I think he's an incredible talent.
Looked like you and Clayton had a nice moment on the field right after the game. Remember who said something to who?
It's pretty chaotic after the game. Listen, we've been through a lot together. And, it was a pretty emotional day for me yesterday. We got the 2008 team here, and, we had 70 guys and equipment managers and athletic trainers that were part of that team back. And, 2008 team is going to be always special in my mind and my heart and our staff's heart. That was the first group that we had the privilege to take to a bowl game. And that was one heck of a game for those of you who covered us back then. That was a wild one down at the Alamo. But, to see those guys yesterday, it's the first time that I've, in my role here, I've been smacked in the face with just how special my role is. To see what those guys have become, to see how successful they are, to see Kevin Watt with his son Connor. I mean, he looks just like him. He's like a little mini-me. And I'm sitting there addressing the squad, and he's over there gnawing on his teething ring. Kevin's trying to make him quiet. I'm like, no, that's great, man. That's what it's all about. And to see how successful that group is now, that's what Northwestern University and athletics and Northwestern football is all about. We recruit high-character guys that are going to use this program and use us to go on to be prepared for life and go be successful with whatever they choose to do. And that just smacked me in the face big time yesterday. And so honored to have those guys back to be a part of this weekend, and so thankful for them. It's kind of weird. I'm only 43, but that thing hit me. I mean, pretty hard yesterday. So great to see those guys.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Yeah, one more. Go ahead.
What would you say to the Northwestern fans that left early today?
I didn't see you leave. So if you left because you don't believe, we're going to be back in a couple weeks. We'll welcome you back with open arms. Our students, I thought, the ones that showed up were great. And the ones that, are thinking about coming out in a couple weeks, we're going to need them. And I hope they come out, and I hope they enjoy it. We only got a handful of parties left for them. And then Chris and the basketball team takes that over. And we got to take care of our business this week. We got to get healthy, hopefully get some guys back. I mean, that's the one question you guys haven't asked me. I mean, you think about, having Nate Hall out and Greg Newsom, some guys that have played a ton of ball for us. Seeing these guys step up to me is a great credit to Hank and the defensive staff, Timmy McGargle and Matt McPherson, those guys getting the next group ready. So, but to our fans, we appreciate your support. We just need to continue to fill Ryan Field up with purple, and we got to do our part and continue to win games. And we're happy to get our first win in front of them. So, thanks. Appreciate it. Go Cats. Thanks.